Alright guys, sorry I'm not in today. I have a sick little one at home, so I'm going to try and teach you this ambiguous case part of the law of signs today. So just make sure you're paying close attention. If you need to go back and watch each part, there's pretty much 3 cases we're going to see today, so this is just a quick demo to get you started. The first case is that actually the side across from the angle ends up being too small. So what you're gonna see mathematically happen is the sine is gonna equal something bigger than 1, and we know sine can't equal anything bigger than 1, so this would be a case where you can't get a triangle. The second case is that you end up with 2 triangles. You end up with actually one angle that will work, and then the angle in the second quadrant, the angle that's supplementary to it, also works. So if you look in the picture at where B1 and B2 are, those are supplementary to each other, and they each form a triangle with the angle side and side that are given. So in these angle side problems, you can actually have 2 triangles that work as long as the angle and its supplementary angle both will still form a triangle. And we'll walk through that. And then the last case, let me see if I can get this to work here. The last case will be similar to what we did yesterday. This is the last case. Case 3 is that you are able to find one angle, but the supplement won't work. It's going to be too big. So then you actually only will get one triangle in a problem like this. So we're going to go ahead and try some examples, but I just wanted to give you a quick demo of what it looks like and why there are some that have 2 triangles and why there are some that only have 1 triangle. And then why there are some that have no triangles at all. So this first page of the notes pretty much goes through what the demo just showed you, is there can be no triangle, there can be 1 triangle, 1 right triangle, or 1 regular triangle, or there can be 2 triangles. And then this just kind of gives you the steps to solving these. The first thing we're going to do is solve for a missing angle. Since it's a side-side angle, the first thing we're going to be able to find is an angle. If you end up with something bigger than 1, that's right away you're going to know there's no triangle. If you get an angle, that's going to be the first quadrant angle. Remember, sine is also positive in the second quadrant. So what that means for us today is that we can find the other angle by subtracting from 180. And then we look at that angle. If that angle is not possible to make a triangle, we're only going to solve 1 triangle with the quadrant 1 answer. And if it is possible, we're going to actually solve 2 triangles with both the quadrant 1 and the quadrant 2 answer. And we're going to walk through that on the next page. So the important thing is there could be no triangle, there could be 1 triangle, or there could be 2 triangles. And that's part of what you need to answer for each problem today. Alright, so example number 1, what we want to do first is what we did first yesterday. Go ahead and draw a picture. This is A, B, C. Big A is 123, that goes in the angle. Little a is 47, and little c is 23. So right away when you look at this problem, you'll notice that it's a side-side angle problem, which is what's telling us that we have to be very, very careful, because this could result in 1 triangle, 2 triangles, or no triangle. We have to see what happens here. So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to find the angle that's across from the side that doesn't have an angle given, so we're going to find angle C here first. So step 1, we're going to find angle C. And you'll just have to look at your picture and see which one you have across from a given side. So that's going to be the sine of C over 23 equals the sine of 123 over 47. We cross multiply. 47 times the sine of C is equal to 23 times the sine of 123. And then we have to start getting C by itself. So we're unwrapping. We're going to divide by 47 first. And then I am going to go ahead and turn that into a decimal. So then when you type that in the calculator, you want to give me 4 decimal places in the middle of the problem. So that's 0.4104. Then we're trying to find C, so I have to solve for C by using sine -1, sine -1. So I'm going to take the sine inverse of that. So you just type that in the calculator and round to the nearest tenth, and you get 24.2 degrees. So that tells us that we have at least one triangle, possibly 2 triangles. Here's how you do the next part. So what we need to do for the next part is we need to think of the fact that the sine has 2 places where it's positive, quadrant 1 and quadrant 2. So now I'm going to split this into 2 problems. We're going to find 2 values for sine. So the first value is going to be the quadrant 1 value, which is the answer we already got from the calculator. The calculator will always tell you the quadrant 1 answer. What you have to think about is how you're going to find the quadrant 2 answer. The quadrant 2 answer, if I drew a little picture over here, if right now we know this is 24.2 degrees, the quadrant 2 answer is also going to have a reference angle of 24.2 degrees, but we want the official angle, so you have to do 180 minus 24 to get that. So for quadrant 2 answer, I'm doing 180 minus 24.2, and I'm going to get that the other angle, and if you keep these angled, that's going to be angle C. Angle C for the second problem is going to be 155.8. And then we start to solve the rest of the triangle here. So the first thing I need to find, we'll do the left side first, is the next angle. So we have angle A, we have angle C. So to find angle B, I have to add and then subtract from 180. So I'm just going to do that over here. I add those together, I get 147.2, subtract from 180, and I'm going to get 32.8, so that's angle B. And then the last thing we're missing is little b, and now that we have angle B, we can find it. I'm going to go ahead and write in the 32.8. and we'll work through that. So now I'm going to do the sine of 32.8 over little b equal to the sine of 123 over 47. I'm hoping the cross multiplying part is the easy part now, so it's going to be 47 sine 32.8 equals b sine 123 divide by sine 123, and then you type that whole thing in your calculator, and it will tell you that b is 30.4. Okay? So then we go to the next problem, and we see what happens here. So again, the first thing you'd want to find is b, but watch what happens right away. I would add the 158 plus the 123 they gave me, and that's way too big. That's 278.8. That's too big for a triangle. So this is too big. To find the last angle, which means there's only one triangle for this one. The second triangle doesn't work out. So this is a one triangle problem, and everything I found on the left side there is an answer. This whole section here is all the answers. Big C, big B, little b. Those are your answers. Alright, let's try another situation.